In the previous video on preparation, I talked about the importance of understanding what microdosing is when you go into it, to see it as a powerful tool to reduce the accumulated barriers, assumptions, and mental habits, and to allow to emerge your natural child's mind capacity for creative breakthrough and really innovative, productive work. And I mentioned, in order to get the most of this restored child's mind power, this greater potential for creative breakthrough, it's essential to work with body awareness. And that's the subject of this video, how to cultivate body awareness in order to make the absolute most of the microdosing experience. I will teach brief and easy to learn methods for awareness of the physical body, awareness of the breath, of the senses, and of the mind. So we're talking about body awareness in the general yogic sense, where everything is seen as connected. So awareness across all those domains in order to support the microdosing experience. The ultimate key is awareness. This awareness, which will take only a few minutes to really practice effectively, to support your session, to learn deep things about yourself that will apply to all your efforts in the future. This awareness serves the microdosing purpose in two ways. One, it allows your energy to be the most balanced and harmonized for your efforts, for your intentions. So you have this surge of energy that comes with this reinstated child's mind potential. And it could break. Very often you can almost feel this offer to go one way or the other. It could break toward anxiety. It could break toward more of an excitement. And of course, anxiety is more likely to end up in distraction and the opposite of productive flow, whereas excitement will naturally reach toward your goals. So this awareness practice helps to utilize the energy in the way that supports you, the way that you intend. And the second benefit conferred by these body awareness practices, making awareness central to the microdosing endeavor, is support for the learning process in a much deeper way. So when you have these experiences, ideally, you have experiences of creative breakthroughs, of being in a flow state. Perhaps you have vivid experiences of struggling with something. Maybe you surmount it during the session, maybe you don't. But the body awareness aspect, touching in again and again with how you're feeling, the state of your breath, touching in with your senses, body and mind, will all make the learning experience much deeper and more robust. Rather than learning these things, how to flow better, how to work better, how to be more effective, how to use your energy better, is not only a series of philosophical decisions that get made in language in your head, but is something that's deeply felt, that engages the body, the breath, the senses, and the mind. So again, awareness supports this microdosing work by making it much more likely that your energy will be balanced and harmonized and useful, rather than leading to anxiety or distraction. And also, whatever learning experiences you extract from the microdosing session, whatever experiences you hope will then improve your efforts in the future, all of that learning will be deeper, more robust, more durable if it's connected with this awareness in the body. So let's begin these practices. And all together, if you can spare 5 to 10 minutes at the beginning of your experience, these practices will be supportive and beneficial. If you can manage to practice consistently in the non-microdosing state, in the ordinary day-to-day, then you will learn more deeply when the time comes to explore a non-ordinary state of consciousness, no matter how subtle. You will naturally be able to bring that awareness to the effort. So the more practice, the better, and consistency is the thing with practice. So here we go. Awareness of the physical body. So invitation to close the eyes or close them part way and take a nice deep breath from the belly. And let the breath go, just let it go, feel everything relax inside. And now bring your awareness to the forehead point right between the eyes. And just hold your awareness there for a moment as you breathe, feeling how it feels in that area, the muscles of the forehead and scalp, muscles around the eyes. And hold that awareness at your third eye on the forehead. Now bring the awareness to the throat. Consciously relax the jaw. And as you breathe, just notice how much is there, how much awareness is in the throat. It can really be staggering how much is held there. And just observe, just notice as you breathe, all the subtle feelings in the throat, the jaw, the neck. And bring the awareness to the heart center in the middle of the ribs. And as you breathe, hold the awareness there at the heart center. Also a place where a lot can be stored. Breathing and relaxing as you hold the awareness at the heart center. And one more deep breath from the belly. And let it go. Let the exhale just spill out and become aware of how your body feels just doing a little scan like that. Okay, open the eyes and now let's move a little. So here the idea is, fundamentally, we talked about this in the previous video, the microdosing is an incredible tool for habit breaking. So the mind is a habit-making, pattern-making machine. And all through your education and all through your life, those patterns and habits are being laid down and reinforced. So if the goal is creative flow, is creative breakthrough, then we want the ability to be able to notice the habits and ultimately free ourselves from them. So in working with body awareness, this issue is very, very clear. The body stores a lot of habits, and we think of them as postural. So you'll notice maybe somebody has their shoulder jammed up, or their posture is constantly a little bent. And those things might seem, just idiosyncratic and minor, but really they are deeply connected to the personality. And very, very often, if you, with compassion, trace your life story and think about your experiences, some of the peculiarities, the specific ways you hold your body, the specific parts of tension and asymmetry can be connected to early experiences. And you'll realize that the state of the body in some ways is the state of the mind. So when we work to allow the body to move more freely, that's also allowing the creativity to flow more freely. So this will be a very, very simple and short practice. Remember, these practices total can be done in 10 minutes, a really small price to pay for something that might be a breakthrough in working for 8 hours to try to achieve some goal using microdosing. So clasp your hands in front of your body and release them to your lap. And now let's take one deep breath just to prepare. So inhaling from the belly and let the breath go. Let it spill all the way out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let the breath really drop to the bottom. And then with the next inhale, while the inhale is happening, as you inhale from the belly, lift the clasp up and bend yourself over to the left, doing this really vigorous stretch. And then as you exhale, let everything relax back down and reclasp the hands. So the inhale happens with this stretch where we're really asking the body to go to new places, really stretching. And the exhale is just letting everything settle. It's kind of like building it in to the memory. So we'll try the other side. So allowing the breath to settle at the bottom and inhaling deeply from the belly as you lift the clasp and bend to the other side, getting this really deep side stretch as you reach the top of the breath. And then exhale and let the breath go as you let the arms, let the muscles settle, let everything settle. Reclasp the hands in front of the body. Inhale deeply from the belly as you lift the clasp, and this time do a slight back bend. And then as you exhale, push the clasp out in front of you, tuck your chin, squeeze your stomach muscles, and really squeeze the air out. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling from the belly. And exhale, pushing and squeezing, arching the back, really arching the back, vigorously squeezing the air out. And coming back to neutral. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, and just feel how it feels. Eyes closed can be good to get that internal awareness. And feel how it feels to move the body in that way. So that, right, just a little bit like that will help to loosen up some of these habitual holdings in the body, particularly when it's done synchronized with the breath that way. So the inhale happens with a vigorous stretch and the exhale with a release or a counter stretch. Okay, let's do something a little more playful that has to do with awareness in the body. Ultimately, I will urge you to be very creative and personal in designing your practices. So really, I'm giving you a vocabulary of ideas that you can mix up, vary, or ditch entirely if you have something that works better for you. So let's take the hands and let's start. You could close your eyes if you want and start to move the hands and just explore the awareness of the hands as they move, and try moving them in all sorts of different ways. You could say, let me try moving my hands in a way that I haven't moved them before. Really try to avoid patterns. Try to consciously avoid getting stuck in patterns and really try a lot of different things. And then bring your hands, when they get tired, because they will soon, bring them to your lap, and now just bring the awareness to them. You might feel some tingling. And you could try things like awareness at the tip of the forefinger, right hand, tip of forefinger, left hand, pinky right hand, pinky left hand, right palm, draw the letter B, and just feel it. You could even visualize it too. That's a different sort of thing. And now feel all of that awareness, intelligence in your hands simultaneously, both hands together, the entire hand. Okay, and come back. So that is a very interesting illustration of how much awareness there can be in the body. And you may have noticed when awareness resides in the body like that, in the hands or in the heart center, the mind is less susceptible to its habitual and often constant thinking. Yeah, so if there's another way to understand the breakthrough potential of using microdosing well, it's to be able to free yourself from these extremely habitual, repetitive patterns of thinking, which I am connecting to patterns of feeling, patterns of breathing, and so on. So there are tremendous benefits just to awareness. Now let's work with the breath. So the mechanics are important. So invitation to put your hands on the sides of your belly. And when I say take a deep breath from the belly, if that was counterintuitive before, you want to inhale from the belly. So there's no tension in the shoulders, the neck, the upper chest. It's really like the belly is swelling like a balloon on the inhalation. And the exhale, you just allow it to spill out. You completely release, completely let go. That surrendered exhalation will prove to be very, very useful for many things. many, many things. So what we're going to do is take 3 of these deep breaths, and I'll talk you through them. And then we will land at the bottom of the exhalation, all the air out of the lungs at the very bottom of the 3rd breath. And we are just going to bring awareness to the bottom of the breath. That means the place where we have completely exhaled, all the air is gone, we're waiting to inhale again, and we're going to pause there and just bring exquisite attention to how we're feeling at the bottom of the breath. So let's try this together. So again, the inhale's from the belly, the exhale is just letting go, spilling out. So take your comfortable seated position and inhale deeply from the belly and exhale, letting it go. Inhale again, deep from the belly. Exhale, let it go. And now here's the last one. Inhale very deep from the belly and exhale and just let the breath go, let it go, let it go. Let a little more air out. You're always holding a little bit. Let a little more and get really close to empty. Don't push though. And just feel. And you can pause for quite some time there with empty lungs. The key is not to push the air out. The key is to just allow it to go out, to allow yourself to exhale a little bit more, letting go, letting the breath go. And the gold mine of awareness here is that at the very bottom of the exhalation is where the emotions are in some sense stored, okay? Now we talked before about making use of the energy that microdosing provides. We've also hinted that the microdosing is not actually giving energy. It's not a stimulant. It's simply releasing some of the barriers and holding patterns that prevent you from accessing your native child's mind energy. And this energy can really be seen in a very raw form at the bottom of the exhalation. When the breath has been completely released, there is an opportunity to really see, feel this energy, your energy, okay? And that awareness, just touching it, makes it more likely that that energy is now available to you to use for your purposes, to go toward your next creative breakthrough, rather than getting further stuck, further jammed down, and then basically guiding the mental habits. So what stuck emotions do is they rut the thinking mind into its usual thinking patterns. Those patterns will not play out that way without the collaboration of the emotional system. So this awareness at the bottom of the breath is very, very useful. It may not be easy. You may be up against something there, and if you are, chalk that up to a secondary benefit of the microdosing. You're learning about yourself in a very deep way. You may be learning as you breathe out fully that, wow, I'm holding a lot. Well, coming into contact with what you're holding, bringing it into awareness like that is the way to recoup that energy and use it for your creative purposes. All right, awareness of the senses. And we're going to use vision, hearing, and touch. So I invite you, this is a variant of a practice from Tibetan dream yoga. I invite you to just let your eyes land on something in your room and really see it. And take a deep breath from the belly and then let the breath go as you really focus on whatever that thing is in your vision. Don't say anything about it. Just get that immediacy of seeing. And then when you finish the breath, swivel your eyes to something else. Land your eyes on something else. Deep breath from the belly. Really see as you release the breath. And one more object. So swiveling around the room, just letting your eyes land on something and inhaling from the belly and exhaling, just really allowing yourself to see whatever it is like that. Now the hearing. So for this one, it's good to close the eyes and let your hearing land on something. When you quiet down and close your eyes, you really can hear so much. I've attempted to make this room quiet so that I can make this video, but I hear so much in the environment. Let's take a deep breath together, inhaling from the belly and exhale. And you hear, of course, the sound of your own breath. Spend a few more moments really listening. Okay, and now feeling, touch. Not necessary to move. You could clasp your hands if you're feeling something like that too. Whatever it is, I suggest keeping the eyes closed for this one, really when it's any other sense than vision. And become aware of the places where your body is in contact with surface. So in this case, for me, the seat of the chair and the back of the chair. And as you breathe, inhaling from the belly, exhale, just letting go and really feel all those places of contact. And now bring your awareness to places where you're in contact with yourself. So this could be your hands clasped if they are. It could be your arm, your armpit, places where your body is pressed against your body. And become aware of those places. Maybe your lips pressed together. Inhaling from the belly. And exhale, just completely letting go and really, one last time, really focusing in on the feeling of your body in contact with the surfaces, in contact with itself. And return to the present. Ironically, we were very much in the present. That's the point to be made here again and again. It's the same as practicing with awareness in the body, in the hands, or anywhere in the body. Is when the awareness is focused like that, it's not as easy for the ego to snag you in those habitual thought patterns. So you are intrinsically a little more free, I would say a little more yourself when you are with awareness, whether it's body, breath, senses. And we're going to do one more, which is the mind. And again, I would encourage very personal engagement with the practice. You could do all of these for 2 minutes each and wind up with a total of 8 minutes of body awareness practice to support the microdosing endeavor. Or you could choose just one of them and spend the time with that. And again, the more you practice outside of the microdosing session, the more the practice will support you when you are right there in the trenches, or you are working on a large dose psychedelic journey too. So awareness of the mind, and this is a very, very basic meditation practice. So invitation to close the eyes if you like. If not, I would recommend kind of closing the eyes part way and just softly focusing on something so that your eyes aren't moving. And what you're going to do just for a minute is notice the thoughts. And you're going to note, and you find yourself thinking. You could notice, you could say, oh, thinking, and return the awareness to the body. Let's say the heart center for now, and the breath, just focusing on your breath. And your mind's going to kick up some more dirt. I should say your thinking mind is going to cast up some more thoughts. And you notice the thoughts, oh, I'm thinking. And again, return the awareness to the heart center as the breath rises and falls. So take about a minute. And whenever you notice thinking, just notice it without judgment if you can. If you judge it, that's just more thinking. Just notice that. Keep on noticing, and returning to the body awareness at the heart center and the breath. Okay. So to give you an idea what this supports, what this lays the groundwork for, let's say you're in the middle of your 8-hour stretch, and there will be, when you're working for 8 hours on something, there will be setbacks and there will be progress, there'll be moments of breakthrough. And with this awareness practice, you're more likely to notice the thought, wow, I just did something unusual. That felt great. And now you have a habit, a new habit, a self-supporting habit which you have built that guides the awareness to your body at that point. And thus, you learn on a deeper level than just the words in your mind. You learn what it feels like to make that breakthrough, to experience that progress, to feel like you're in your second nature. So as I said at the top of this video, the main point of awareness, there are two points to awareness. One is to make it so that it's more likely the experience will be good. Much more likely, if you just notice the anxiety, that it will reduce. If you notice the emotional clenching, it will reduce. And you're more likely to have this microdosing experience be filled with creative energy rather than anxious energy. And then the second purpose of practicing this way is to deepen the actual learning, so that when something happens, you have some, either way, it breaks either way. You have some microdosing session and there's a learning opportunity there. It's rife with learning opportunities. There are lots of learning opportunities. And rather than say, okay, what did I learn, and encode it into language, you have something much, much deeper and more robust. And if the body is on board, the learning will be much, much deeper. And it will be much more likely that subsequently you're microdosing or you're not, you're just engaging with challenging problems, creative problems, and you know what you have learned on a deeper and more durable level. And remember, more than how to work with a substance that you are going to ingest, this is a way of working with the body, all components of the body, which include the mind, the breath, the senses, so that you can succeed, have more likely success with the task at hand, with whatever you're doing in the moment, that you can learn all the valuable lessons much more deeply in a much more durable way, embodied way, and so that fundamentally you can learn more about yourself on the deepest level, to realize that you have far greater power than your education would lead you to believe. You have the power to regain that energy, that creativity, that child's mind. Next time, I'll talk about ways to work playfully and productively within the microdosing state. We understand what it is going in. We have that appreciation, that strong intention to learn about ourselves on a deep level, not just have a productive day of creation. We've practiced with the body, which means the body, the breath, the senses, and the mind. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 8 minutes total. And now we're ready to get to work, and we would like to make the most of this very fertile and this state of great potential. Thank you.